I feel we should talk.
The information collected on the peace talks has been verified, Commander. As time is a factor, this unit suggests heading to Greater Tranquility Station as soon as you are able.
We can't let DeVries catch us on the back foot again. We need a plan.
Stakes are high. If DeVries sabotages the peace talks, war will continue. Don't need to be a seer to divine that.
Exactly. It ain't just about the delegates. It's the civvies who always pay the greatest price.
Records indicate Greater Tranquility is a derelict station. Consequently, the ideal route to reach the main chamber for the peace talks will be through its underbelly. Be advised. In the absence of Victor and his explosives, Agent DeVries and her team will be committed to a frontal assault. Due to delays incurred while saving the Order hostages, DeVries also has the codes to control the station's security automechanicals, and will assuredly deploy them against you, Commander.
It's a comm station built by the Order in the early days of the colony. As Val said, auto-mechanical security measures are a given, and DeVries will surely level them against us. I'd also expect some level of hazardous disrepair, though the unpredictable nature of DeVries and her defectors concerns me more than anything.
Additionally, per the Earth Directorate Manual, when lacking equivalent combat forces, determination and vast amounts of ammunition may make up the difference.
You know where I stand. This war's taken too many good folk from us. I'll be damned if I let DeVries add to that number.
I'm coming with you. Who better to make DeVries pay for Horizon Point than a pair of our own Phantoms? Good. Would have been a shame if DeVries was the reason for us falling out too.
Confirming coordinates for Greater Tranquility Station. Confirmed. Use the astrogator when you are ready to navigate to the station, Commander.
Careful now. Oh, you sure haven't lost any of your boundless energy. Victor wasn't exactly the partner in crime I envisioned DeVries to have. Reckon a tough crossword puzzle would have eventually sent him over the edge, even if we hadn't come along. I'm glad we were able to show him a little grace. DeVries obviously manipulated him into acting against his conscience. You ever wonder what might have happened if DeVries had let us in on her initial plan? Surely we wouldn't have been taken in by her rhetoric like Victor. Right? Hotshot Earth Directorate agent swoops in to liberate your colony, sets you on a new exciting path, and you're telling me you wouldn't have been a bit smitten? No, yeah, of course. Stupid question. It's just, I look at someone like Victor and see the trap I might have fallen into. True, but DeVries is still DeVries. She's good at deconstructing folks, uncovering their points of failure. She'd have known I had my heart set on being a hero. After Triangulum, all I wanted was to do for other colonies what Augustine had done for mine. Still do, if I'm honest. I will say, it's a lot easier to do just that nowadays. With you around, that is. Thanks for letting me wax for a bit. We can get back to what we were doing now. Unless there was something else you needed. It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Anti-Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out.
Observational data is important, but I hate seeing these rifts so close.
Good evening. On behalf of everyone in Auntie's family, I want to thank our hosts for securing this wonderfully austere venue to begin our negotiations for peace.
Seems out of place here. Worth a once-over.
We can gain profit from a merger, but surely the good Vicar Laureate and his fellow shareholders have some thoughts?
Madam Vice President, I and my fellow counselors remind you that this is no merger, but an alliance. By ending the war, we may focus on the true threat to our society, the rifts.
Be still, Cadre. But don't let this interloper out of your sight. It's you, is it not? The one Agent DeVries warned me to expect? Well, see here. If you intend to stop me, you're far too late. Preposterous. Our mission to stop the talks is a righteous one. Why would I ever jeopardize it for the likes of you?
We need answers, now. How we extract those answers, I'll leave up to you, Commander. Personally, I'd start with the knees.
You do no such thing. My willpower is stout, my loyalty unshakable. And even if by some low chance you could extract my knowledge, you'll never truly understand. If our deaths buy Agent DeVries and our comrades the time they need, so be it. That matters not. He lost his grit and turned traitor. But I am steadfast in my resolve. You hear me? Steadfast. I was warned you might try to lure me in with niceties, with professionalism, before going for the proverbial throat. I won't have it. But it doesn't matter what you do. The rest of our team is pushing forward. Agent DeVries is right. The only way to save us from destruction is to save the Order from itself. But why would you leave me be? This situation is markedly different. Those at the monastery were not standing in your path. How can you say that without knowing me? And mean it. Your resolve is unmistakable, and it's quickly becoming all too clear I've no option left but to trust you. Fine then, I surrender. See this screen? Agent DeVries' orders for each of her strike teams are here for the taking. One team is in the next chamber, in fact. They're using the Seer's codes to gain control of the automechs and secure the station. All while Agent DeVries makes for the forum chamber to eliminate the delegates. You'll also need this. Her guards have commandeered some frightful reinforcements, and you'd do well to find the control hub to disable them before you're spotted. That's my end of the agreement upheld. If you truly intend to stop her, best be on your way now. May the numbers guide you.
Just imagine the hustle and bustle of this place in its heyday.
I'd bet bits to Borstwurst. That's going to need a new fuse.
If the Protectorate's own leader is beyond his depth, he and his ilk won't anticipate an alliance.
He's not my sovereign.
Yes, right. Well, landing a strike against the Protectorate in this state will be something like wrangling a galloping redworm.
I am unfamiliar, but I presume that to mean it will be without exertion. If so, then you are perhaps even more ignorant of Utopia than I calculated. The sovereign is as ineffective as suggested, but his advisor, the consul, is not. These executions, these impulsive attacks, are solely his influence.
Solely? Your previous sovereign was rather draconian himself. Your own history books are to be believed. Do not act like the current rot emerged from nowhere.
I could perhaps say the same for you and your reputation for putting profits over people. But instead, I suggest we pivot our discussion back to the real matter at hand.
Looks like those mechs are on their side. Shame. Could have been useful.
Disruptive influences confirmed.
Ready to waste him. On your command.
Got some bad troublemaker approaching.
Yeah.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Target analysis.
standing by to...
I have a fix on their
I'd like to discuss
weaknesses.
your efforts on Paradise Island. We may have no physical presence there. Ever watchful. Our observations suggest that matters have been delicate, but I... to hear that your leaders convinced Westport residents to seek shelter in Fairfield. Things rarely end this way. Protectorate's abandoned subjects.
Ah, yes. The Protectorate had their folk living in fear, between all those hangings and maniacal proclamations. That was all the opening we needed to acquire some hearts and minds.
Well, we welcome the news of your advances. However, it is worrisome that it took the of a freelancer for you to finally secure your hold. Worrisome indeed.
Reviving me is strategically optimal.
According to my analysis, to this meeting, enough goodwill exists between our parties to suggest a high chance of success should a treaty or alliance be agreed upon.
My records
Treaty?
do not indicate
As
that
in a
any
contract.
authorized personnel
Goodness,
remain
there's no
aboard the
need to
station.
rush into
I
such
am
formalities,
programmed to
Vicar.
exchange wares
Especially
for
when
monetary
so much has
compensation
yet to be
for
discussed.
whosoever seeks it. Praise be to the Sovereign, for he knows precisely what...
No time to lie. I'm starting to get an eerie feeling, like someone's got their lamps on us.
Investigating hostile intentions.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just get the signal.
I see you.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Oh, have you snuffed?
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Have you given up?
Target.
Fine then. Cross that bridge and see how well you fare.
We're so close. One elevator ride away from having the breeze in our crosshairs. Finally.
Suppose we can entertain a tentative agreement. I hereby agree that both of our parties will lay down their arms. For now.
I am pleased to hear it. There is no need for senseless bloodshed when we may yet come to an accord.
I remind you that a contract signing may still be a ways off, but we might consider the hierarchy between our parties should we wish to proceed with a merger, an alliance.
No, we wouldn't want any unseemly quarrels over power. Especially when presiding bishop Ruth Bassar already possesses the foresight necessary to lead a colony and better its people.
Foresight is nothing without propaganda, and our Minister of Marketing has already won Protectorate hearts and minds. If unification is what you want, ingenuity is what you need.
So you think that your people should rule? I certainly won't downplay the powers of persuasion here, but Arcadian matters are...
Oh, there they are. Right out in the open. Best speed this up. We can't have got long before DeVries goes through with her plan.
Look no further than the abbot, who welcomed refugees to Matriarch's mercy.
Yet he struggled to feed and house them properly. The poor man was clearly overwhelmed if he couldn't see his right hand was actively undermining him, even with his data.
Meanwhile, Auntie's choice has done little to alleviate the refugee crisis it helped create. Indeed, my projections may be accurate.
You have a nasty habit of arriving at the wrong time, Commander.
It's over, Augustine. Nowhere left to run. No more lies you can peddle or people you can burn. Your rewards come due.
Ibarra, I was unaware of your survival until recently. Believe it or not, I was happy you survived. But to see you still seeking solace in the Commander's shadow is disappointing. You could have done anything with your life. Shrugged off the bad memories. But now you're both here to meddle. Law knows why. Certainly. And then I'll brew us some tea and we can gossip about the latest pitchball matches. Do you think me an idiot? I've no interest in continuing this little reunion. What happened in Horizon Point, well, I had no choice but to do as I did. And I'm prepared to do the same again. These delegates you came to save, I'm killing them both, and any hope for peace will die along with them. This is the only way if we hope to close the rifts before it's too late. Everything. The Order is on the verge of learning how to control the rifts. They just need the right data, and a prototype modulator that's hidden away in a Protectorate lab on Praetor. But like the Protectorate before them, Auntie's choice must never have access to that technology. Anyone with even half-functioning gray matter knows that you cannot trust a corporation with the kind of power that comes with controlling rifts. The Order should know better. It's as if they've forgotten how we got to this point. It was the Seers who came to me back then. They showed me their data, proving that the Protectorate's rift experiments would lead to our galaxy's destruction. I didn't want to believe them. But as more and more of their predictions came to pass, I knew I had to act. I had to destroy Horizon Point and its research to prevent annihilation.
That's law, Augustine. You could have told us what you were planning instead of letting us blunder into a trap.
No, I couldn't have. Had I deviated from the plan even the slightest amount, it could have jeopardized everything. I had to avert a far worse disaster. By any means. You were an unwelcome variable. Prior knowledge could have changed your actions, and the Seers had predicted that you and your team would perish in the process regardless. I tried to put it out of mind when you and I first spoke. I had to focus. But all I could think of was the cost I was being asked to pay to ensure the mission's success, and I forced myself to complete it. I trusted that with Horizon Point's destruction, humanity might be saved, but it wasn't. It was only the start. I must finish what I started. I joined with this legitimate organization, you fool, because I saw their potential. The Earth Directorate is flawed, with finite reach, but the Order? Their power is limitless. I had to sit with too many unanswered questions after the mission. It eventually forced me to find a way to fix the rifts. If only to stop the thoughts that plagued me. You recall what I said of the rift modulator, of the data? It's the only way to control the rifts, and only the Order can be trusted with this power. You know who these corporatists are, how they deal with their competitors. Imagine now how a war spurred by greed might be won, when fought with rifts instead of guns. You see? The Order must not sacrifice their principles for a childish attempt at peace. If they don't complete the mission they started, everything I have done will have counted for nothing.
Enough! Just enough, Augustine. I can't listen to any more of these excuses. I've got all the answers I needed, Commander. She's gone over the threshold and ain't no bringing her back. Best we make this quick, before she can hurt anyone else.
You think you have it in you to pull the trigger, Ibarra?
Had 10 years to practice. Give the order, Commander. How many times do you need a snake to bite you to realize its nature? She's shown us who she is, Commander. She's showing us again right now. You're wrestling fire here. You know that, right?
It doesn't matter. Nothing you can say to me will change the issue at hand. If I'm to give the Order the means to close the rifts, the peace talks must end. 2 dead delegates? That's a fair price to pay. We've paid worse. Is that so? Please then, enlighten me on how you might save the Order from itself. Even if the circumstances for peace are right, surely their envoys' untimely deaths will put fear into them. If I can do anything to put doubt in either faction's mind, I'll do it. You were an Earth Directorate agent once. You understand the need to be thorough. But even if what you say is true, there's no undoing the past. Not for me. I don't belong here. And the Earth Directorate's nothing more than a memory. This mission is all I have. So if you won't leave me to carry out my plans, Commander, then all that's left is your bullet. Savannah. I was never a good friend to her, even when she was all I had. Sometimes I thought her a fool for putting such faith in me. But if she still does, maybe. No, it doesn't matter. You should hate me for what I've done to you, to your crew. You can't possibly wish for me to live. Do you actually? I want nothing more than that, but I just didn't understand there was another path I could take. Not until this moment. I see now that my judgment has been compromised. So we will do this your way. No harm will come to the delegates, and I will stand down. But there's more you should know. I've recovered a cartridge from the Earth Directorate satellite I brought down. It's here, with me, and it contains the rift data gathered from every system they monitor. If you process this data, you can use it to improve the prototype rift modulator on Praetor. Once that's finished, the rifts can finally be closed. Everyone will be saved. Because, whether you believe it or not, you are the picture of an Earth Directorate agent. Competent, resourceful, tenacious. Oh, and humble, too. As for me, I've reached the limit of what I can do here. But you can still save us. And that cartridge will at least give you a head start. There's also a high-priority message from the Chief of Ops on there. I was unable to decrypt it, but you certainly have the means to do so on your ship. It may be 3 years old, but hopefully the information it contains is still relevant. Here, it's yours. May the numbers guide you, Commander. Wait, what in the void is that?
threateningly disastrous to imminently catastrophic, this seems... well, we should run.
Follow me, quick!
That rift's not getting any smaller. Come on, Commander, huff and puff it.
This is an urgent message for all Earth Directorate agents. The spatial rift situation has deteriorated significantly. The rifts threatening a majority of our colonies and our Earth Directorate bases, including this one, have entered their final stages. If you see a rift that looks like this, you are in grave danger. You have at most a matter of months before everything in your local system is destroyed. The seriousness of this situation cannot be overstated. Therefore, Directive Alpha Omega is hereby invoked. You are fully authorized to do everything in your power to find a way to close the rifts. Along with this message, the entirety of our rift data has been sent to your local surveillance satellite. Analyze this data. Law willing, you will find a way to unlock any secrets it has resisted yielding to us. The fate of humanity now depends on you.
Acknowledging receipt of emergency mission parameters update, including activation of Directive Alpha Omega. Commander is now released from any and all agent guidelines. The full parameters are as follows. The agent has full authority to handle the mission in any manner they see fit. No exceptions. The extreme nature of stated emergencies supersedes any other considerations. I have also detected competing priorities in the new mission objectives. The surveillance data from the satellite confirms De Vries's assertion of a prototype modulator on Praetor that may be used to manipulate rifts. Acquisition is required to be able to bypass any new or existing miniature ground-level rift anomalies you may encounter. You are also tasked with finding a way to process the Earth Directorate rift data. The archive computer on Cloister would be best suited to this purpose. Agents are permitted to cooperate with local governments and other political entities at their discretion, even under normal directives, which you are no longer bound by. Both Auntie's Choice and the Order have previously controlled the archive, and may be open to working with you to regain access. Seeking their assistance is recommended. Coincidentally, both delegates also escaped the station and have sent messages expressing gratitude. It seems they feel they owe you their lives and have asked to meet with you at their respective headquarters. Returning to mission objectives. Do you have a preference for which to pursue first, Commander? Acknowledged. Due to the rift's expansion, both Cloister and Praetor show a high preponderance of miniature rifts. Proceed with caution. It is worth noting that the Order of the Ascendant is headquartered on Cloister. You have also received a message from Auntie's Choice. This unit can relay its contents now, should you wish. The message has also been sent to your private terminal. Greetings, morally gray potential contractor. You've been pre-selected for membership in Auntie's Choice Esteemed and Valuable Disposable Agent Program. Report on board the ACS Undisputed Claim for details on this exciting opportunity. Signed, Auntie Cleo. It appears you now have permission to visit Auntie's Choice headquarters aboard its flagship, Commander. You may use the astrogator to navigate there at any time.
Commander, word? What happened back there? We had her cornered, bullets chambered, justice within reach, and you just let her go? What am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to trust you the next time a tough choice has to be made? That sort of thinking never would have slowed DeVries on the draw. Mercy's a fine concept, but I'm not convinced everyone deserves it. Just hope we don't come to regret our state hand. I'm gonna need time to muddle through all this, so let's just end things there, for now. Short-range transmission just came in from Zeb. Sounded urgent. He's requesting we meet him at the tomb of the Matriarch, here on Praetor. It's where the Matriarch and First Sovereign are buried, supposedly. Zeb left out the mission parameters, probably worried his message might be intercepted. Not unfounded, given the protectorate presence on Praetor. He did say he'd reach out to us again if he needed help. Reckon we should take it as a compliment. Zeb doesn't trust easy. Anyway, I'd really like to go, if there's time. Much obliged. The sooner we can rendezvous at the tomb, the better. Got the sense that whatever's going down, it's happening now. Turn your lamps on that building over there. Reckon that's where we'll be able to get our hands on the rift modulator.
Protectorate control of Praetor has largely been achieved through the maintenance of a blockade. A survey of Praetor indicates there may be an alternate route past the blockade via the automech factory.
Yeah. What in the where now? Suspicious data. Unfamiliar. Source.
I'm not clear what that roar signified, but whatever issued it sounds fierce.
In the nick of time, as always.
Your arrival cannot be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I'm, glad to see you again as well, Niles.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret. For any subject, visiting the matriarch and First Sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of empty social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are its least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire revealed a vault in its lowest level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from the public. Who knows what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the matriarch was the genius she's purported to be, the skip drive cannot be the entirety of her inventions. Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here, the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the people. Reaching the vault will be no simple task. There are likely to be unforeseen security measures to contend with, though hopefully nothing too obstructive. We must first gain entry to the security room, however. Once there, I should be able to access more information about the lower level's layout and potential hazards.
I can see a half-dozen points of failure, but bad odds ain't ever stopped us before.
Glad we're operating under the same understanding. We're unlikely to have another chance like this. We must follow through now that we've made the opening. Which also means, once inside, we cannot leave until it's done. Slim chance of that. I'll not assign a task to others that I'm unwilling to undertake myself.
Color me surprised.
The Consul is incensed about the death of one of his own. He sent sentinels to hunt Audra down. I tried to help her hide, but they found her anyway. They tortured her for the locations of the other members of our cell. They're all gone now, dead. I alone am left to complete our mission.
There ain't words to describe how sorry I am. I thought we were doing the right thing.
I will not pretend it isn't a blow, but what's done is done. There will be time to grieve once the Protectorate is dead and buried. After you. Stay close and keep silent. The less attention we draw, the better. By the matriarch, there weren't supposed to be visitors today. Sentinel and Dose.
You hang back here. The commander and I'll take care of this.
Automechanical design, far superior to all automechanicals that came before. The time once spent in numbing manual labor may now be spent in harmonious community with your neighbor and in humble service to the Protectorate. May art and science flourish in these many hours which I have returned to you.
Warning. Power at 13%. Power cell has been partially depleted due to inaction. Pathing obstructed. Rerouting. Error. Error. Reroute failed. Gloria Arcadia. Gloria Arcadia. Gloria Arcadia.
Hostile spotted.
Audience recognition is received. Warning. Power at 13%. Power cell error. Power cell has been partially depleted.
This area is return to your display immediately.
Order disregarded. This unit serves only the matriarch.
You must be suffering a malfunction.
The matriarch perfected automechanical design. Therefore, it is impossible for this automechanical
Never again
malfunction.
will we. Will we see her equal?
It has been 10
Combatant observed.
the rest.
Proceeding to attack. Amplification in progress. Mitigating the threat.
Now that's been taken care of. We can continue. Wait there. I'll come to you.
I'll handle. Now, my turn. There should be a hidden entrance here.
There. We can access the lower level now.
possessor of unseen overlord, and all. I now present to you my new invention.
The security room that we need to reach is nearby. We should be able to disable that energy barrier from there.
Who goes? No one is allowed in here without the proper authorization. Ah, I see you have come armed. Intruders, then. I suppose you intend to extract my surrender through means most lurid and foul.
Damn, the head curator. I had hoped to slip in before his shift, but no matter. We cannot allow him to leave and raise the alarm. He must be dispatched, quickly.
How's that now?
Now hold on. I know we had to kill that fella with the Sentinel, but this man's unarmed. He's already surrendered.
I rather think that line has some blurry distinction.
How much of a fuss could this one fella cause, really? Come on, Zeb. No need to cut any bellies over maybes and ifs.
Please, if secrecy's your concern, you may rely upon me to be the utmost spirit of discretion. I have never betrayed a confidence in my life.
Allowing him to leave would be a grave error of mercy, one we can ill afford in this place. This man is an instrument of empire, perpetuating the tyrant's lies. And were our positions reversed, he would not hesitate to execute us, or worse, send us to mental refreshment.
I'm kin to the risks, Zeb.
Are you? Can you even fathom the indignity of having your every thought scrutinized and scored and made perfect? My sister was made into a shadow. I endured daily sessions with the lathe of particularity and still find myself policing my own mind for untoward proclivities and inclinations.
The commander's right. This man didn't put you in the lathe, Zeb. He's just trapped in the system, same as everyone else.
I never have possessed immunity against your pleading. Fine, you're free to leave. Do not repay this kindness with treachery.
You are merciful and wise. I will depart at once.
Let's hope the consequences of this decision do not assert themselves while we're still here. You and Niall should turn off the power to the security barrier and make your way to the vault. I'll remain here and guide you as best I can through the labyrinth. No turning back now.
No going back from here. Not until we've done what we came here.
Hold! Don't set foot in that room. What did you just trigger? Run!
Yeah! Dude!
In spite of substantial efforts to prolong his life, my father's condition continues to deteriorate, both physically and mentally. It has been difficult to observe. His latest effort would see him entombed within an automechanical body. I objected, of course, to my father becoming some chimera of machine and man, but was overruled. Now the Order informs me that, far from being a panacea, this attempt has exacted a toll on my father that is likely to finish what time and disease have already begun. I may soon be sovereign. And if that bears out, I will need to hide all of this. Burn all of my father's research into longevity. Seal his auto-mech body away at the factory. What grief I will
Just
inherit.
shoot in the thin air!
What mess.
Over here, Commander. Reckon I found something that might be useful later. Have a look, Commander. With a little elbow grease and some inadvisable engineering, Reckon I could finagle these components into a fine explosive gel. Who knows? Could come in handy. Just doing my part. But thanks for the vote of confidence, Commander. Let's keep on. I'll continue tinkering on this in the meantime, see what I can come up with.
You've made it through. Good. Now there should be 3 switches in this room. When pulled in the correct order... Damn it!
Necessary vulnerabilities identified.
Before you make a second attempt, I just found a logbook that indicates there are N-ray wires installed that may correspond with each switch. Perhaps that will be useful. The code I originally supplied can still be relied upon. Wrong again. The code is 132.
By my grandmother, I cannot abide the time this research into the rifts is taking. It has been years, and yet I am still absent my wife and daughter. I am still half whole. The researchers swear it's possible to bring them back from the void.
The code is 132.
Perhaps those are only pretty lies intended to pacify me, but I trust Dr. Hurley to tell me the truth. I know the
code is
wishes me to give up this obsession
132.
and focus on the war effort, but why should I? Am I not sovereign of Arcadia? Should my desires not take priority?
I'm hard to see we're not overly impeded by this puzzle, but I apologize for my lack of preparation. That vault door is quite the obstruction. Fortunately, there should be a code. No. Fuck! They changed it recently. That shouldn't have happened until next week. I'm certain I can diagnose the issue. Now that you've cleared the way, I'll come down and join you.
Might have something else that can get you into that vault, Commander. Does that seem a little off to you, Commander? In all fairness, he tried to help. I don't think he's aiming to get us killed exactly, but I wouldn't place bets on our safety being much of a priority, neither. That business with the curator, I'm glad Zeb stood down, but it was close. Never seen him so eager for bloodletting before. He's changed. Ain't sure for the better. Losing Aldra and the rest of his cell couldn't have helped neither. Oh, what a mess we made of that whole business with the Sentinel. Well, no use stewing. We've still got a vault to break into and tyrannical government to topple. Speaking of, remember those components I found? I was able to turn them into something halfway useful after all. This gel should get us through that vault door. Turns out you were right about trusting my instincts. You take the honors, Commander. I'll be right behind you.
I was hoping for...
Am I running hot, or was that a heavy worry I
I neglected to pack a thermometer. This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information stored here.
In times of darkness,
This cannot be right.
we must hold
There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts. 10 years in Arcadia and the matriarch invented... nothing? And what's this about a deal with the Earth Directorate? We need to talk. Now.
Henry this, but he is set in his ways. His notions regarding these rifts are sorely misguided. Why close them when we can use them to Arcadia's benefit? It matters not what the Order thinks, what the Doubters say. The Architect bestowed us with the power of skip drives so that we may secure a perfect future. We must act with haste. I only ever wished for Henry to embrace his role as the caretaker of Arcadia, the savior of us all. But if he has chosen a different path, I will do as I must. And I must not fail.
I knew the Protectorate festered with lies, but I had no idea the Earth Directorate was complicit. Niles, did you know?
Slow up, Zeb. What are you talking about?
It says your agency struck an agreement with the Matriarch over a century ago. In exchange for skip drives, Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference, including from the Earth Directorate.
What message? Why didn't you say anything about it sooner?
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the Matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all of the suffering that's taken place here, it all could have been avoided. Things could have been different. There's more. The skip drive schematics are here. How the explosive safeguards against tampering work, its evolution over time. But no original concepts, no sketches. Nothing. Our dear matriarch is a fraud, a cheat. She did not invent the skip drive. There are messages here between her and the First Sovereign that all but confirm it. I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this is almost better. By releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush the image the Protectorate has been built upon. The Sovereign will be revealed as the unclothed emperor he is, and demolish Arcadia's myth of superiority. If we administer truth to the people, their strength will return. Erstwhile, giving the skip drive designs to the Protectorate's enemies will even the fight. Their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will completely destroy the Earth Directorate's reputation.
I was not aware of such a connection between rifts and the skip drives. But I have confidence the Order will figure out a solution. Science is their theater, after all. As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. They'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided.
It's worth holding the Earth Directorate's feet to the fire for this deal, but I don't think the entire organization should be judged by its worst decision. It's done a lot of good, too. Plus, making the skip drive tech available, that's like throwing a lit match into a fuel converter. Can't think of a worse idea right now.
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No. They act, and so must we. Damn the consequences. And should I refuse to leave empty-handed? What then?
Whoa. Put the brakes on, Commander. I'm sure Zeb can be reasoned with. I know you're aiming to do the most good for the most amount of people, Zeb. But sowing chaos ain't the way.
Do you know how many of my friends died so we could reach this point? Audra and the others, tortured and hunted down like animals. And you would have me what? Give up now on the cusp of victory? Lay bare my throat for the Protectorate machine to cut?
You remember what we argued about the day before I left?
I've replayed it in my mind many times.
A lot's changed, but that hasn't. Life in Arcadia could be just like we dreamed it. But there's no future if you go through with this. Not for anyone.
Out of respect for my friend, I will forestall the release of this information and seek another avenue to help liberate the people of Arcadia. I'll remain here for a while longer to cover our tracks. The Protectorate will discover the break-in, but hopefully never learn more specifics of what we did and found.
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now. If we both come out of this war intact, I'll find you. If you wish to be found, of course.
I want to talk it over with the commander, but yeah, maybe we can work something out.
There they are. These are the ruffians who threatened me.
Handle this. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. I'm back and scared. Ratcheting up my aggression.
That was right.
Got weapon ready, Commander.
We could have prevented this.
Got my lamp on
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Ready to waste them. On your command.
Each of vital looks like they've sorted
To violence.
Replenishing my food.
Don't even know where to start with everything that happened in there. At least we were able to talk Zeb out of his plan to release everything we uncovered. I'm all for sowing chaos in the Protectorate, but that kind of information is liable to do more harm than good in the wrong hands. I understand his desperation. What I don't understand is the Earth Directorate's part in Arcadia's existence. Ever agreeing to such a cruel bargain in the first place? I expect backroom dealing from unregulated corporations, not from the only agency keeping them in check. The Earth Directorate should be better than that. Permission to speak candid, Commander. Strange as it sounds, this whole experience with Zeb has helped me finally understand the position Augustine was in, back at Horizon Point. Ain't easy having to decide between your allies and protecting untold innocence. It's the damnedest thing. In spite of everything, I find myself relieved we spared her. Augustine still owes a debt to us, and the rest of the galaxy. Maybe she pays it all someday, and maybe she doesn't. Either way, you were right to give her the chance. Provided the rift don't dismantle us all before then. Yeah, Suppose we will. Reckon time will decide the heroes from villains in this tale, but it's gonna be hard to forgive the Earth Directorate for arranging the stage like this in the first place. Deep down, I'm still convinced the galaxy is better with the Earth Directorate in it, flawed as it is. But what happened with Arcadia can never be allowed to happen again. Something has to change within the Directorate. And I think we're best positioned to see that reformation through. All said, I appreciate you giving me the space to work through this. Sort of feels like the future's opening back up after a long time closed. Likewise, Commander.
This facility is the only thing
Oh there. Approach the gate and identify yourself if you're looking for access.
Certainly a dramatic way to go.
Well, of all the improbable sights I'd never imagined to actually see, folks simply wandering around the Badlands of Praetor would be near the top of that list. I've not the mind to solve the equation that demonstrates how unlikely it is you've survived enemy combatants, hostile critters, and endless lightning in near equal measure. Is that so? Amusingly enough, I'm inclined to believe you, which means you might be just the help Exemplar Simon's been waiting for. He is in the lab atop the hydraulicalized lift. Ironically, the lift was struck by lightning while the station was being reset and is stuck in its raised position. There is a trail that leads to the top. Just mind the jump onto the platform, and don't touch anything glowing, sparking, or obviously shedding lightning on your way there. And given the situation we find ourselves in, I'll be leaving the gate charged unless you're ready to pass through it. Just approach, and I'll power it down for you. I understand the strategic value of holding this station, but the odds of a handful of us repelling a full-scale attack is highly dubious. It is fortunate our enemies fear these lightning towers. Don't control. Should you ever need to...
Greetings, unaffiliated individual? Could you be a freelancer? A gun for hire? Might you be interested in a job involving the removal of dangerous creatures? Very well. There's a cave directly southeast of our position, positively infested with raptidons. If you exterminate the lot of them, I'll upgrade your basic entry permissions to allow for purchase of our surplus of supplies. Oh, this is so exciting. I can feel the rate of my blood flow increasing.
The turrets just went offline again. We need to get them back up before someone dents measures.
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
I have a fix.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just stay with me.
Locking them down. Taking the fight out of them. Check your scopes. Yeah. Adversary vulnerable. Combatant scanned. Hostilities are afoot. Investigating hostile intentions. Fortificator at ready stack. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Get the signal.
Target analyzed. Lay down. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Combatant scanned. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
You've returned. Are the Raptidons vanquished? Have you completed the job? Oh, incredible. Then, as the prime requisitionist currently at this station, I confer to you upgraded permissions that allow for surplus supply purchases.
You're about to enter territory controlled by Auntie's choice. Act accordingly. Or you'll end up as close friends with the inside of a Raptidon.
You there, you came from outside the camp. Interested in work? Or was the allure of helping to advance science and being paid for it too much to resist? I'll get right to it then. I need someone to bring me a Gorvid egg. Stars, I'm glad to have found someone who knows not to waste time jawing when scientific advancement is at stake. Some people just don't know the importance of biological research. I sent my assistant off to the north with a tracking device, hoping he'd lay hands on a Gorvid egg. I desperately need that egg for my research. Could you bring me one? Oh, and bring back my assistant, too, if you find him with all his pieces still stuck together. He ain't much good for assisting in research if he's all torn up. Sound reasonable?
You know, I reckon half the corpses on this little chompy.
Hope I have enough saved up that my body...
Ain't this a sight?
That's right,
Class
folks.
consciousness
Keep the
in
chanting
action.
going. I can see the overseer up in her office.
No
and
more
we're
bottles
definitely
on
making her
factory
miserable.
floors! Time for unlocked bathroom doors!
No target.
We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans! If you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates!
Workers are too rowdy. Door stays shut for now.
We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans!
Working hard or hard
Ever
to
read
work?
the middle manager handbook?
That's
Really
adorable.
shores up the foundation, nothing else.
Working hard or hardly working?
Yes? The whole reason we set up here is to avoid customers. Is there something you need? See that repackaging facility down there? We're supposed to be working it, slaving away for a few meager bits that we then gotta use to pay for our own necessities. They work us like cysty pigs, charge us for the stems we need to yoke those hours, and don't let us relieve ourselves but in empty fizzy tea bottles we keep beneath our stations. So, we're making trouble until that changes. Until we get some respect. Until the privy is left open all day. Can't imagine what. Ain't like you could fix all of Auntie's Choice's hierarchy by your own self.
I don't think you could even change this one dumpish overseer ruining our lives. Now, if you'll excuse me.
You look unfortified. Getting enough emulsifiers in your diet?